It's time for Michigan's retirement coach, Mike Douglas.
Hopefully you are like a lot of investors, and all of the bull market run-up that we have seen in the last few years has just really paid off for you. It has been a good time for a lot of savers. Mike, you are participating. You're in it with your clients. This is Mike Douglas, certified financial planner, Michigan's retirement coach. MichigansRetirementCoach.com is where you can go to start the conversation with Mike and his team. We've also got links posted in the show notes. Still, to every yin, there's a yang. So a lot of folks are wondering, and we've talked about this for years, the correction has got to come. But everybody's like, well, when is it going to come? Because it's just been so good for so long. People don't want to miss out. We're spoiled, to say the least.
Yeah.
So we passed the 96th anniversary of the 1929 stock market crash recently. Of course, we all know that was the time it helped usher in the Great Depression. So CNBC and the New York Times financial reporter Andrew Ross Sorkin, he has come out with a new book about that time. It's called 1929. And he was actually telling 60 Minutes how the market run-up we've seen lately mirrors the overpriced bubble of 1929. This is what he said.
I would argue to you that the economy is being propped up almost artificially by the artificial intelligence boom. There are hundreds of billions of dollars that are being invested today in artificial intelligence. This is either a gold rush or a sugar rush, and we probably won't know for a couple of years which one it is. We will have a crash. I just can't tell you when, and I can't tell you how deep. But I can assure you, unfortunately, I wish I wasn't saying this, we will have a crash.
So something will happen, but we don't know when or how much, but it will happen.
So when I heard this clip, and you sent this over and you said, do you want to talk about this? And I heard the clip, and all I could hear in my brain, there's a song from The Little Mermaid called Part of Your World. Part of your world.
Don't sing anymore because we can't pay for it.
Yeah, we don't have the rights to it. But there's a line in it. There's like the main song, and then they kind of reprise it later in the movie.
Yeah.
Again, I know this is deep Little Mermaid talk, but I have a daughter.
Right. How old's Emmy?
Here we go.
She's 10.
She's 10.
Yeah.
So, but in the reprise part of it, she says, I don't know when, I don't know how, but I know something's starting right now. And that's all I could hear when he's saying this. Except for my mind, it's like, I don't know when, I don't know how, but buy my new book and I'll tell you right now. Like that's all. It's so funny. Like it stuck in my head. Oh, you're selling a book, and the book is called 1929. There we go. Okay, so the market's going to crash. This is the headline. Like the headline is the market's going to crash, but I can't tell you when. I can't tell you how much it's going to crash, and I can't tell you exactly what's going to cause it to crash. But it's overpriced. It's overinflated. So we're going to say 1929 because that's fear, right? And that's like people, hey, there's a Great Depression coming. So you got to be ready. That's one thing. Or we were wildly overpriced in 1999.
Well, that's the thing I was going to say, because you can compare where we are right now to more recent market history.
Yes.
1999 early to the dot-com bubble burst.
Yeah, but that doesn't sell because it was a 3-year correction and the market recovered up, and then an 18-month market crash, the great financial crisis, 53% crash, 18 months. And then within a few years, we were recovered. So people have moved past, not everybody, but largely have moved past the thought process. I can't say this for everybody, right? But when you live through, let's go back in time, just in the 2000s, take 1929 throw out the window. In 2022, the end of 2021, the market was wildly overpriced in tech. Wildly overpriced. The post-COVID run-up, wildly overpriced. So in 2022, the market crashed for 6 months. NASDAQ was down like 30-something%. The S&P was down 20%, and it recovered it all by middle to late 2023. So substantial crash, recovers in 18 months, less than 18 months, right? 2020, the COVID crash, the market drops 30% in 22 trading days, recovers by the end of the year. 2018, we have a 10% crash in February, 10%. I think it was February, March, 2 different 10% crashes, and then a 19.6% crash from October 5th to Christmas Eve. So 40% losses in 1 year, and the market finishes negative 6.25% for the year. So we have these that happen all the time. In 2007 to 2009, the great financial crisis, that was an actual major bubble burst. It wasn't overpriced. It was bad housing, bad debt, bad market-backed security or mortgage-backed securities, a whole lot of stuff all coming together, bad banking practices, major crashes, financial collapse, recovered within 3.5 to 4 years.
Right.
Okay. And then even the tech bubble, the wildly overpriced tech market, the dot-com crash that happened in 2000, 2001, 2002. 43% correction over 3 years. Mm-hmm. And it recovered, even through the great financial crisis, and that all happened all in the 2000s. That's why they call it the lost decade of the stock market, because basically it was a negative decade. And yet nobody here is currently hurt by it. So Andrew Ross Sorkin is selling a book called 1929. Why? Are we heading into the Great Depression? Why? Well, everything's wildly overpriced. Okay. I know he's got his reasons for it. I know he has his thoughts on why it's going to happen. And I like to think, because there's a lot of people who have a lot of respect for Andrew Ross Sorkin, and I've seen him do some really good stuff before. But the phrasing of it is brutally bad. Okay. The market will crash. I just can't tell you when and how much. Well, yeah, the market crashes, then it grows, then it recorrects, then it grows, and then it goes through sluggish and bullish and bearish cycles. And thank you for saying that it's going to crash. At the end of the day, what do people need to do about it?
Right.
Well, I need to know how I still live my life if it does crash next week, next year, 5 years from now. How do I deal with inflation? How do I deal with taxes? So telling us that the crash is coming doesn't help.
Right.
It doesn't. What helps us is saying, hey, if this starts to happen, here's what you should do about it. So what clients and prospects and people we talk to all say is, hey, is the market overpriced? Heck yeah, it's overpriced.
Well,
it's crazy overpriced as far as we know. But with AI, we're not going through like an evolution of a slower computer to a slightly faster computer. Whole new way of doing business.
But with where we are right now and people having done very well, and for somebody who is 60 years old thinking about retiring in the next 5 to 10 years, they don't want to mess things up. They are hearing stuff like this. Forget Sorkin. I mean, the conversation about the similarities of where we are right now versus forget 1929. I think that the more interesting conversation is the similarities of where we are compared to the dot-com bubble burst at
the 99.
The 99,
absolutely.
Because while people hopefully have recovered, the people that retired in that decade, changes had to be made. Things had to be done. Work had, and there are, to do the math, and if you retired in 2008 versus 2009, the chances of your success in retirement versus running out of money, that math is real, Mike. So, I mean, are people coming to you saying, I'm nervous, I'm happy that we're doing this well, but I want to retire in 5 years and I can't handle a crash?
Yes.
What can I do?
It can make sense to take some chips off the table. Absolutely. So again, and I agree with you. We need to figure out a real solution because it will come at some point. We've always known that.
Yeah.
So we need to figure out how much I'm okay with being engaged in that process, because people have this FOMO. They say, well, I don't want to lose money. So they have fear of participating in the crash and fear of missing out on the gains. So we always start from the ground up. Number one, how much income do you need in retirement? What's the baseline? Mm-hmm. Like, what do I need to net in retirement plus inflation to live the life I want to live? $7,000 a month. Okay. How much is your Social Security? $5,000 a month. Okay. So we need to come up with $2,000 a month without fail, without any risk. I'm not saying to have no risk in your portfolio, but I'm saying I need a system that says if the market's down 20 to 30%, it doesn't affect my ability to pull that $2,000 out a month net to live off of. Because a down market should not mean I don't get to go golfing with my friends or go on my, my cruise that I planned on or live my regular life. Right. And I think that's the problem, is that we get these advice and the people are going to say, oh, well, then take your money out of the market. Don't take your money out of the market. But at the same time, Should I leave it in the market? Don't leave it all in the market. You need to know an appropriate amount. How do I reposition it? If I go to dividends, will dividends produce the income I need? If I go to an annuity, will annuity produce the income, liquidity, and growth I need? There is no perfect investment, but we got to start thinking of our money not as a giant lump sum, but as individual parts with roles to play. So if the market corrects, here's how I get my income. If the market continues to grow, here's how I grow my portfolio. That's what we're trying to diversify.
Okay.
One portfolio, multiple purposes. That's the whole thing.
Okay.
I have a portfolio, and out of that portfolio, I've committed 20% of it towards making sure I have that $2,000 a month guaranteed, whether it's through dividends, annuity, preferred stock, whatever we choose, a guaranteed number that way my life doesn't change in a down market. Then the remaining balance, we say, all right, well, I'd like some to have a certain measure of risk. Other money, I'd like it to have some real growth opportunity. And if the market crashes, that's okay. I will put more money in the growth and it will recover and actually become much greater on the back end. That's what I think we need to be thinking. So it is smart to think about taking chips off the table. It is reasonable to have an exit strategy if things start going crazy south. However, I don't want to live a life of fear.
Right.
Our clients don't want to live lives in fear. So when we see these things come up and these guys go out promoting these things, and I get it, and he's writing a book about the market. And again, I think it's a plan that says, hey, just so you know, here's what I see in the market. It's good. I just get so tired of these guys who, like Harry Dent Jr. is another one, an economist who just, if every year I say the market's going to crash, then it does crash. And I say, see, but it's like, you're
right.
one of 10, buddy.
Yeah.
You can't say it every year. And then when it hits, you go, I've been telling you guys.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's like, just drives me crazy. But I do think that as people, we need to always be living a balanced life, always be living with an exit strategy and a growth strategy, no matter what.
Yeah.
What does a 40-year-old do in a down market? Well, I should maybe consider dumping more money into the stock market because I have time to recover and I'm buying discounted stock.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something we should be considering. So everybody needs to have a down market strategy and an up market strategy.
Okay.
And then at certain points, when do I pull more chips off the table? So I think that's my big takeaway from this article and this quote by him is that I don't know when, I don't know how, but I know something's starting right now. And it's a highly overpriced market. And it could potentially lead to a market crash. And we will all be wildly surprised when the market crashes, even though we know it's going to happen. And people are going to panic. And hopefully you've got a good strategy built, because you also want to build a good plan, not from a place of fear, but a place of confidence and prudence. So now is when you build plans for bad markets. Don't wait till you're in the middle of the battle. You're in the foxhole saying, how do we get out of here? Nope. When things are good, when you're level-headed and you've got a good place, that's when you say, if the market crashes, we will do that. The reason that the military doesn't go into battle without an exit strategy is because you don't want to be trying to consider it in those moments. You want to know how you get out.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing financially. Building a good exit strategy, a good growth strategy, and make sure that life is how we intended it when we spent 40 years saving money so we could go golfing, go on cruises, and spend time with our grandkids.
And what you're also saying is we should not have a Little Mermaid approach to our risk management.
No.
Do better than the Little Mermaid approach.
Part of that world. Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's just the phrasing of it absolutely grabbed my attention.
You're such the daughter of a 10. I mean, you're such a dad of a 10-year-old daughter. Like,
yeah, I'm highly in tune to
right.
Disney songs.
Probably most things in your life could be parlayed back to some sort of Disney song. You could, I'm sure, if we played a game, relate this to a Disney song, you'd win at this phase of life.
Oh yeah,
you do really well.
Oh yeah, no, I'm dialed. Or as the boys say, I'm locked.
You're locked. You're locked in.
That's my boys say. You locked in? I'm locked. Okay.
All jokes aside, though, what the real message I've been hearing you say over and over again, because you said the fear of missing out, but the fear of participating in a crash, fear shouldn't be part of a plan. You should be confidently knowing that if you're going to spend 20, 30, 40 years in retirement, what's the average? The market corrects every 3 to 4 years. So there you go. That's on average what you should have considered as far as your market investments go. And does your risk line up to the tolerance of if you were to take a 20, 30, 40% hit on your savings? This is the kind of conversations that Mike is working with the folks in his office, him and his team working through with their clients, they can do for you as well. So MichigansRetirementCoach.com is where to go to start the conversation with Mike and his team. You can also find links posted in the show notes if you have fear about your money when it comes to your investments, your retirement. That means you probably don't have the right kind of plan in place. Mike and his team ready to help you put that plan together. MichigansRetirementCoach.com.
Thanks for listening to Michigan's Retirement Coach with Mike Douglas. To learn more, visit MichigansRetirementCoach.com.
Michael Douglas is an investment advisor representative of Stewards Wealth Planning, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Michael Douglas is licensed in your state, please call 517-323-7526. Stewards Wealth Planning, LLC is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Michael B. Douglas, NPN number 9650939.